What's good, all my people? It's another Mad Bam Thursday podcast, and you already know we're gonna just debunk the whole wide world of deception. That's why the bitter truth is here. Now we're gonna talk about uranium today. Uranium, you know what that is? The same thing that they claim can give you nuclear power and also nuclear weapons. It's a thin line with that uranium, as they call it. It can even use for energy, or you can use it for warheads. That's why they have this word nuclear weapon and nuclear power. So we're gonna go into it today and find out what is uranium, what it's really about. We're gonna let them tell us what it is, and we're gonna make sure the people understand what it really is. Apart from what they tell you, we're gonna expose it for what it is right here. Some bullshit they give the masses to live by in this earth. Pay attention here. Listen. Pay attention.
Uranium is a word that sparks...
And look, people. Uranium is a word, but take a look at it right there. This is what they're showing you for the actual material right there. They tell you it's a piece of rock. I guess they can dig in the ground. Remember, the trickery here in hell is to make the masses believe that they can dig the ground and make you live off that. You can live off what's underneath the ground or what's beneath the ground. And that's part of this trickery right here. They're giving the masses, knowing that the earth is hell and built upon all fakery. Take a listen here.
A lot of curiosity and sometimes even fear.
Curiosity
we often
and
hear
fear.
about it in connection with nuclear energy,
Yes.
atomic bombs, and even some...
And atomic bombs, people. The same uranium that can give you energy and now can be atomic bomb. So pay attention, and I'm going to expose why they make this so close to each other, basically, between prosperity and destruction. In the same thing, people. Listen and pay attention.
Science fiction stories about radiation. But what exactly is uranium? To understand it, we need to take a closer look at what this element is, how it was discovered, and why it plays such a major role in both energy production and human history.
And human history. It play a role in energy and history. Remember, you get nothing but fake history here. It's the trick of this earth to make you accept it. But listen.
Uranium is a naturally occurring chemical element, identified on the periodic table with the symbol U and an atomic...
No, people, the U is the number 3 coding. And don't worry about it. There's nothing natural about these things that they tell you about. It's not natural. There is no natural chemical here. Listen to me. There is no chemical here. You see, what's natural can never be classed as chemical. You listening to me? Nothing natural can't be chemical, because whatever you get it from, it do have a name. So all you have to do is just call it that name. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why chemical exists. It don't come from natural source. That's why they call it chemical. Do you understand or not? Anything that you can identify that you get something from, that you can wring out some chemical out of, just call it that same name as the product that you wring it out of. It's simple as that. And you wouldn't have that word chemical. The chemical is for synthetic material that they put together, mostly for the masses' destruction. Listen.
Of 92. That
92
means
coding.
each atom of uranium has 92 protons in its nucleus.
And that's another word again, protons and atoms and these words that they're using to confuse the masses. You're going to think you know because they already school you about it, but you don't know shit. It's just a deception. Listen.
Makes it one of the heaviest naturally occurring elements on Earth.
Heaviest.
In fact, if you were to pick up a chunk of pure uranium metal...
And where we gonna get it from? Where we gonna get it from? We already know the earth itself does not produce metal. Every single metal was made. The earth don't produce metal, people. What's on the ground that you see made out of metal and it's actually natural? Nothing. All metal from copper, silver, gold, platinum, all was made. No natural metal is here. So that uranium is a piece of metal is something that they put together. Listen and pay attention.
You'd find it surprisingly dense, about 19 times heavier than the same volume of water.
What a joke, people.
That sheer
Bullshit.
density
fakery.
is one of the reasons uranium has so much potential as an energy source.
You hear that, people? Potential to be an energy source. It got so much potential, they use it for energy source, people. And that same energy source can be weapons. But hold on here, people, listen. This is how you go debunk the whole uranium bullshit. I'm gonna ask you a question. If you got that way to produce energy, why is we still on oil and gas? Ask them that question, people. What is that nuclear plant? What it's really about? I already don't tell you. They have ways to manipulate the elements to give you bad weather, to give you disaster. That's why they have a nuclear plant. They have a lot of operations going on. Yes, for the masses' demise. That's all it is. They can't fool the masses into believe that they have some kind of way of producing energy right there, and we still have to depend on oil and gas to give us energy. Why, if the nuclear plant have this uranium that can produce energy? What is energy? What kind of energy is you talking about? Why the hell you can't use it for electric? Energy is supposed to be the same electric, right? Okay, so why is we can use gas for electric, but we can't use this uranium? And that's exactly what it doing, producing energy. This is bullshit for the public right here. Is it the same oil and gas you have in those plants you claim to produce energy? This is crap right here.
Let's explore right here on History of Simple Things.
Yes, history is fakery right here in this earth. It's just a way to keep you in line so you can, believe and live the way they want you to live.
The history of uranium's discovery is quite fascinating.
Yes.
It was first identified in 1789 by
1789, and they have to show you a character that actually discovered it. What a bullshit for the dumb masses. What was this guy in so he discovered uranium? Listen.
German chemist named Martin Heinrich Klaproth, who was analyzing a mineral known as pitchblende, now called uraninite.
Where did he get it from? Where does it come from? How comes we can't find uranium in the damn ground? How come you're the only one can find it? Just like the oil. The same way, you're the only one who can find oil in the ground. You're the only one who can find diamonds and golds. We already know that because you're the one who owned it. Don't come tell us it's random to pick up a piece of gold out of the ground. But at the end of the day, the establishment own it. The establishment fix the price. How dumb can we be in this earth that these things is naturally coming from the earth and it got so much restriction and all of these things surround it, just like the things that they create in hell. So you better understand the gold, the diamonds, all of these things that they tell you they dig from the ground, produced by the government people right here.
Klaproth named the new element after the planet Uranus.
You hear that, people? They're naming off a planet, Uranus. Remember, from back then, from 17-something, they tell you they've discovered this right here. They know about this planet. They know about spinning bars in the sky. And they know it's a place that you can go. Another place where you can find ground. Another ground spinning in the sky. Before you discover that uranium, you know about these planets. Is that real? How did you know about these planets supposed to be deep in the skies? Because you look up and you see a light? This is the dumbest shit in the world. Once they tell you they name that shit off a planet, it's a big old bam. It's a 100% fake shit they give the masses they call uranium. You best understand it's part of the earth destruction right here as they fool you about these minerals that they get from the ground, something they create for your destruction.
Itself had only been discovered a few years earlier.
What a bullshit.
However,
and the planet was discovered a few years earlier before they discovered the uranium, so they name it after the damn planet supposedly. What kind of dumb shit is that, people? And that's what you build your life around? Listen to how they put the whole thing together, people. How they put your history and your existence right here in perspective. And look how it comes. What a bullshit. That's why I told you we're the lost sheeps. 100% lost sheeps. We don't know where we come from. We don't know why we're here. We don't know where we're going. Listen.
It wasn't until much later that scientists began to understand the full significance of uranium.
Of course.
For most of the 19th century, uranium was used mainly for making colorful glass and ceramics, because compounds of uranium can produce a distinct yellow-green fluorescence. People had no idea of its radioactive nature at the time. That changed in 1896, when French physicist Henri Becquerel discovered that uranium salts emitted invisible rays that could fog photographic plates.
You hear that, people? What a bullshit for the damn public. So why you going through now? All of these people now is discovering something new about the uranium. We don't know why they're so interested in it. I guess they know it can end up being this big thing now, nuclear plants and power. Listen.
This accidental finding opened the door to the study of radioactivity.
Wow, people, and that's how they wanted to believe. Life comes here accidentally. Everything is accidental. Everything is coincident. You believe that, people? Everything is scripted. That's why we so dumb in this earth. That's why we only know what they want us to know.
Later developed further by Marie and Pierre Curie.
People, look how much
so
people
uranium's
involved.
Story is deeply tied to the history of modern physics.
Yeah, that people tied deeply to modern physics, which is another bullshit again to control the masses. Listen.
From a chemical standpoint, uranium is a silvery gray metal. But what makes it so special...
How did you get the metal? Did you find the metal in the ground, buddy? Or you gonna come describe uranium and you just made it? How you gonna convince the masses that you find in this unca metal in the ground? The earth don't produce metal on its own naturally. It can't happen, people. You notice the earth elements or not? Rocks and dirt and these things. Not metal. Every metal was made. It's funny how you're dumb enough to believe that metal, gold, and platinum and these things was found in the ground. But you know that they make copper. You know that they make silver. You know that they make brass and these other supposedly metal. Why you so dumb when it comes to the gold? The ones that cost the most. Why do you so stupid to it after that time? Why you can't understand that it's the same shit? All metals was made. You can't find metal in the ground unless it was made by humans. You understand that or not? Listen.
Is its nuclear properties. Uranium atoms are unstable, and they can undergo radioactive decay. There are several isotopes of uranium, but the two most important are uranium-238 and uranium-235.
And look what they're showing in the hand, people. It's a piece of metal. Wow.
Isotopes are atoms of the same element that have the same number of protons, but different numbers of neutrons. Uranium-238 makes up about 99.3% of natural uranium, while uranium-235 makes up only about 0.7%. This small fraction of U-200...
And look, these are some of the plants that they claim this uranium is making or producing. And look at it right there, people. Look. You see that smoky thing coming out of it? Deadly chemicals seeking in the damn air. A lot of people don't pay attention to these things. Once you see these chemical plants, the nuclear plants of the world, your best they're just here to pollute the air. They're the one who manipulating you in this earth right here. They control you. Everything you do was by design. They force you in those directions that you actually at right now. But listen and pay attention.
35 is what makes uranium so valuable for nuclear energy. Because it is fissile.
Why the nuclear energy ain't never used, people? Why they never use the nuclear power? Why the nuclear energy ain't here? Where it's at, people? Why we depend on oil and gas if we have nuclear power? Nuclear power, nuclear energy. Are we mistaking those words? Energy and power? Okay, so if we can get energy and power from the nuclear plant, why we have gas prices going up? Why is we still depend on oil and gas for energy? Why oil and gas have to still give you electric if you have a nuclear plant? What is it good for? They can't explain those things. Remember, people, America and Iran and Israel going after Iran because they claim they have nuclear power and plants, and they also the enemy of Jews. So with them having those nuclear power and plants, weaponry and all, and they against the Jews, they have to attack them, they have to destroy it, they have to do all of these things. And what they tell you in there, nuclear power, neurons, and all of these things that they claim is good for energy. But it's all about oil and gas. At the same time, you're fighting about nuclear plants, and at the same time, it's affecting oil and gas. What happened to the nuclear energy? This is bullshit for the public. Right
that
here.
means U-235 can split apart when struck by a neutron, releasing enormous amounts of energy in the process.
What is energy? What the energy is? Is it electric? What is energy, bruh? Are we dumb here? You keep mentioning energy. What is energy? Is that electric? And if we can produce this kind of energy, why we still need the oil and gas? Sure.
This phenomenon, called nuclear fission, is the basis of both nuclear reactors and nuclear weapons.
You hear that? Pay attention. This is why it's so close, people. This is why they're explaining it. Why it's so close from, I guess, producing power and energy and producing a weapon for fighting. So that's why they always give you that, we don't know if they're using it for energy or they're just going to use it for a weapon. So we're not going to let them have it. We can't allow them to have it because they have that terrorist type of vibe going. So we can't allow them to have that energy because they can turn it into a weapon. It's the dumbest shit in the world. But pay attention. You ever seen one of those nuclear weapons? You ever seen one of them in action? You make all these, supposedly, you claim that you have all these weapons. Imagine this, you're going to go to war with Iran because Iran possess these weapons, these energy type of vibe that can create weapons. And you go there, destroying them, mocking them, laughing at them, playing around and mocking them how powerful you is and what you can do to them. And they're sitting on this, and they still never use it. They're sitting on the nuclear weapon and they still haven't using it yet. What is they waiting on? Imagine this, you have this special weapon that everybody's so scared of, and then the people who are scared of you is going to attack you because you have that weapon and you will never use it on them. Why you don't unleash that weapon that you have? It's just like when they tell Saddam Hussein that weapons of mass destruction. Why Saddam Hussein allow himself to be captured and he possessed that kind of weapon? You possess that weapon and they find you in a hole. They find a hole hiding from U.S. troops in your own country. These are all operations, people. Nothing about them real. So this nuclear weapons that they always tell you that some countries that not supposed to have it, and now they need to do all of these shit is bullcrap for the dumb masses. They already know the world operations have to happen. So therefore, that's what they call nuclear weapons and nuclear plant. Do you understand? The manipulation of the peoples right here. They're not fighting with each other. Else you would have seen them release those weapons when they're at war. Iran have the weapon. America is humiliating them and doing all the mocking them, and they still wouldn't use it. Why would you have it to begin with? If you have it for war, as America claim and Israel claim, why you don't use it now that the war is started? The war is on now. When you gonna use the nuclear weapon? When was the nuclear weapon supposed to be gonna put in use? So you see that is dumb shit, right? Why they give you this fakery about uranium. Nothing about it real. The fact that something exists called uranium is another dumb shit for the masses.
The energy released
There
by
you go. They
splitting
only
just
can show you cartoon image. They only can show you computer graphic when it comes to this uranium. It's not real. It's bullshit for the dumb public. 100%
one
in.
atom of uranium is
One
tiny
atom.
on its own. But when you multiply that by trillions of atoms
How do you
undergoing
do that?
fission,
How do you
the
do
power
that?
becomes staggering.
It's
A
bullshit,
small
people.
pellet of uranium fuel, about the size of a...
Uranium fluid. Okay, so it's a fluid you call uranium? You show us a piece of rock. I'm telling you, people, the world's a deception. That's why I said we have to decode the whole thing for the masses to understand. Go back again and pay attention to what they're telling you right here. Why the energy that they claim is good can become bad as a weapon. Listen.
When you multiply that by trillions of atoms undergoing fission...
Undergoing fission? What the fuck is you talking about, bruh? Undergoing fission? What is it talking about? How can you multiply this right here to becomes a weapon? How it multiply into trillions? You can't explain that? Listen.
The power becomes staggering.
Staggering.
A small pellet of uranium fuel, about the size of a fingertip...
They say it's fluid, people, a fluid. You said fluid.
produce as much energy as burning a ton of coal.
Wow.
That's why uranium is such a crucial element in today's energy landscape.
It's bullshit, people. It's a fabricated fake shit for the dumb folks. Nothing about it real. Anybody with common sense can understand what I'm saying here. This is just something they have to give you to explain all of these nuclear bullshit that they've been feeding you. And the fact that you can produce energy with the same thing that you use to produce the wickedest weapon of all, nuclear weapons. Listen.
In nuclear power plants, uranium fuel rods are carefully arranged inside reactors. When the atoms split, they generate heat, which is then used to produce steam, driving turbines that generate...
What a fucking bullshit for the dumb masses. What a bullshit for the masses, people. Wow. Unbelievable. So we're not supposed to hear that you just said. Okay, all right, go back, people. To show you that these nuclear plants of the world, nuclear weapons, is bullshit for the damn public. There's nothing real about it, people, but nuclear power plant. What kind of power is you generating from that nuclear plant you call a power plant? What is power? Is it connected to the grid and supplying those countries with electric? No, people, no. No. Absolutely no. It's not connected to no fucking grid. So what is going on here? How it been producing energy and sitting right there by itself and not feeding the country that it's in electric? How it comes to be energy? I already told you it's bullshit. These things is there to manipulate the masses. 100% in. Don't ask where earthquake come from. Don't ask where those storms, twisters and all these disasters come from. It's an operation using those nuclear plants and facilities. Listen.
Power plants, uranium fuel rods are carefully arranged inside reactors.
All right.
When the atoms split, they
What do you mean when the atoms split? What do you mean when it split? You're gonna split it? Listen.
Heat, which is then used to produce steam, driving turbines that generate...
Whoa, hold on here. Produce steam to drive turbines. Is this real, people? So this is why the nuclear plant is there with these neurons? Come on, people, this is crap. 100% in.
Electricity. This allows countries... When the atoms split, they generate heat, which is then used to produce steam, driving turbines that generate electricity.
Hold on here, people. So you need... Hold on, man. So you need heat to make steam, so steam could spin the turbine, so now the turbine could give you electric. Does that sound real to you, people? So you need steam from a nuclear power plant to spin a damn turbine? You're spinning a turbine to give you electric, and that's how you get nuclear power. You still have to spin a supposedly turbine you still have to spin a turbine. So you're only splitting atoms to make heat to generate the steam, so the steam can spin a turbine and the turbine give you electric. Tell me this is not the dumbest shit you ever heard, people. Tell me this is not the dumbest shit you heard. Remember, the turbine is the same wind turbine. I'm saying once I mention turbine is some kind of spinning object. Okay, so the steam gonna spin it now instead of the wind. You remember I showed you a video with Elon Musk have these gas turbines. He set up all these gas turbines. So they pump in gas to spin these turbines. When the turbines spin, it give you electric. Now this one is steam gonna spin the turbine. Remember, once the turbine spin, it can generate electric. They choose to use steam from atoms colliding or split to give you the steam to spin the... You explain it? You understand how I'm explaining it to you people? Because I'm trying to put it in terms where you can understand what they say there. Atom split makes steam, and then the steam gonna spin the turbine so the turbine could generate electric. Wow. Unbelievable. So they're using fire and steam and all of these things to spin turbine, but they still have the wind turbine type of operation. You can use wind to produce electric, but now you're going to split atoms to make steam to spin turbines? I told you people, if you only look into what the world built upon, you'll find deceptions. Unbelievable deceptions. Finish, listen.
This allows countries to produce vast amounts of electricity without burning fossil fuels,
you hear that, people?
Which makes uranium...
You hear that, people? They can do that without burning fossil fuel. So therefore, the nuclear plant is to bypass the oil, the gas. So it's to bypass the oil, and we still can't bypass the oil, and we have these nuclear plants. Iran have a nuclear plant, and they also produce oil. What is going on here, people? So it's a different way to produce energy, but they're not using it? I'm just lost right here, people. They can produce energy with this nuclear plant, but they don't. Because at the end of the day, it's still oil and gas. All right. So listen to what they're trying to tell you here. They're trying to tell you that they're not using the oil and gas for electric. I guess that's what they're telling you right here.
Important player in the fight against climate change.
You're gonna fight against climate change.
This energy source is not without controversy because it produces radioactive waste that must be carefully managed for thousands of years.
So you see that, people? It created waste that you have to manage for years and years and years. Remember they tell you drop and always pour it in the sea? So in order for you to produce these supposedly nuclear energy, it have wastewater come off it. Waste, they call it waste. So now they have to dump it somewhere. So listen to me, people. While they're supposed to be producing nuclear energy, they're producing wicked chemical and poison right there. And now they have to find some way to get rid of it. Where they're gonna put it. Remember, this is wicked chemical they claim to have right there. You can't pour it in the ground because it's gonna end up seeking into whatever you take part in this earth. Simple as and that. There's no other way about it when you look at it. It's gonna seek in the earth, you're gonna have problems with it. If you put it in the water, it's still gonna come back to affect the people some way, somehow. So listen to me, people. This is more bad than good. They're showing you right here, they're exposing it, that it's doing way more bad than good, even though they're trying to show you the good side of it. Listen.
Beyond peaceful uses, uranium has a darker chapter in its history. During the 1940s, as part of the Manhattan Project, scientists discovered how to harness uranium's fission properties to create atomic bombs.
You see that, people? All of a sudden now, you can create atomic bombs, as they show you that fake mushroom cloud, as they call it, to describe the atomic bomb. Pay attention, because it is bullshit. Listen.
The bomb dropped on Hiroshima in
You see that? That's fakery.
1945, known
That's
as
fakery, people. That's 1945 is the number code in, yes, 999. But pay attention to this. Listen.
Little Boy, was fueled by highly enriched uranium. Enrichment refers to
people.
the process of increasing the proportion of
One eye.
U-235 in uranium, making it more suitable for weapons or reactor fuel. This discovery forever changed global politics and warfare.
So there you go, people. Right away they discover that, and it changed up every damn thing. They discover that what they use for energy can now use for explosion and destruction. That's what they're telling you. We still can't see no energy from it yet. You hear what I say, people? That's not what giving you electric here. I'm sorry. We don't see none of those power grid plant connected to no damn nuclear plant. None of those power grids connected to those nuclear plants. So it got nothing to do with no electric. They lie to you. Like I mentioned, it's weather manipulation. That's all it is. They know some things. They know some kind of chemical that they can use to mix with the element, and it turns out bad for the public. They already know all that shit. Well, listen.
As uranium became not just an element, but a symbol of destructive power.
Yeah, that people, a symbol of destructive power. After they was trying to use it for good, now they mention destructive power involved with that same lifesaver. You see how hell runs? Behind every good door, 10 bad in here. You understand? You open a good door and bad come flying out at you. That's what hell is about. Take a listen.
Since then, uranium has been at the center of debates about
that?
nuclear
They know
proliferation,
it's bullshit.
energy security, and international peace.
Look at them. International peace. Now that you find something that can destroy people, international peace come into play. You see that right there? Peace, now that you know you can kill the people. Now that you discover a new weapon, they gather around for peace. What a joke for the masses. What they really call peace, people. Listen.
Mining and obtaining uranium is another
Mining.
important part of its story.
How do you know where it's at to mine it? How do you know that these things is deep, deep down in the ground so you can go in there and mine it? How did you recognize these things to start putting into use? Who tell you about these things to create in hurt? To create destruction? Who tell you about those things? How did you get that idea that these things is under the ground and you can go dig it out and use it for something else? How do you know about the rare earth that you use for the chips in all computer? How do you know that you can dig something from the ground to make that chip? A chip, people, in a computer. They tell you it come from the ground, a rare earth. Who tell you that? Where you get it from? How did you come up with it as human beings here? I'm sorry, I can't give you that much credit, humans. In this world of dumb people, I can't give you that credit that you actually know about these neurons to go down there and get it. To go make something else. No. You're giving the human being too much credit after they show you how dumb they are right here. And you give them the credit of creating these smart things around you. You're giving them the credit, the same dumb people. You're giving them the credit of coming up with all of these gadgets, cell phones and smart TV and smart this, smart that. You give them the credit for that. The dumb people right here. That's your mistake. It's the devil them behind the whole technology and everything else. They're the one who behind it. The devil themselves. Remember where you at, you in hell. The devil own hell. They know where to find all of these things for your destruction. They know exactly where everything located in the damn earth. Do you see that or not? But listen, pay attention to this.
Uranium is found in various minerals in the Earth's crust, and significant deposits exist in countries like Canada.
How do you know where it's at? How do you know it's there? How do you identify this uranium? How do you identify it with the rest of the element in the damn ground? Listen.
Australia, Kazakhstan, and Namibia. Extracting uranium involves mining the ore, then processing it into a concentrated powder
right here,
known
people.
as yellow cake.
Yellow cake.
From there,
what a joke,
it can be
people.
converted into uranium dioxide for reactor fuel or further enriched if needed. The mining process itself raises environmental concerns, such as contamination of water and exposure to radiation for workers.
You hear that, people? Exposed to radiation, the workers. But hold on here, people. So this is highly radiated type of shit they claim is the uranium. It carry a lot of radiation and these things, and people mining it. Listen to this.
It's a field that requires careful safety measures.
Look, people.
Despite these challenges, uranium continues to be mined because of its irreplaceable role in nuclear technology.
You hear that, people? Irreplaceable role in technology, I guess nuclear technology. This uranium, so they have to find it. Even though it's difficult, they're digging down these rocks and sieving out these dirts to find it, people. Wow, unbelievable fakery they give the masses right here. Listen.
Health and safety are always big topics when discussing uranium. On its own, natural uranium is only weakly radioactive, and it poses more of a chemical hazard than a radiological one.
You see that?
Handling small amounts of it doesn't immediately cause harm, but inhaling uranium dust or being exposed to high levels of radiation from uranium decay products can be dangerous. That's why strict safety protocols are enforced in the nuclear industry. Another important fact is that depleted uranium, which is uranium left over after enrichment, has been used in military applications, such as armor-piercing ammunition, due to its extreme density.
You see that, people? It is bullshit. Wake your ass up with a bam. So now they're using the leftover uranium to make bullets. That's what they put in the bullets now. So yes, people, they discover this shit in hell. Supposedly this rock that can either give you energy or cause destruction with weapons. Uranium, they call it. 34 coding in numerology they give you for that shit right there. And listen, people, it's what causing all of this disruption in the world today. It's supposed to produce energy, give you electric, and it also can start world war. It also can destroy a big chunk of the world. That uranium. So now that they're explaining it to you and putting out there what it's really doing and how thin that line is from giving you energy and blowing up the whole wide world. So listen to me, people. This is hell, and this is how they run hell. Nothing about it is real. Nothing about the uranium is real. Listen to me. Those plants, those nuclear facility is what they use to create the bad weather. That's what they use to create disaster. That's what they use to poison the element. Most of the time, sickness and everything comes with it. You best understand it's part of the world operations that they have all over. In countries to countries, they can show you they have some kind of nuclear program going on. It's destruction for those people. So now you understand the lies they tell about the uranium. The uranium is a piece of hoax they issue to the masses for you to buy into the supposedly nuclear weapons and power of this world. Nothing about it real. Supposedly single metals that they found or material that they found is this dangerous for the earth. All made up dumb shit for the masses. Another mag, bam, I'm gone.